Welcome to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show. Tune in for a vibrant mix of fashion, finance, and life's essential foundations. Join us for expert interviews, insightful discussions, and empowering insights to elevate your lifestyle. From fashion trends to financial tips and personal growth strategies, we've got you covered. So grab your headphones and get ready to be inspired. Tune in now to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show and embark on this exciting journey with us.
Welcome, everyone. This is the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Talk Show, and I am your host, Marie Antoinette Waite. And today we are on KCAA Radio Network. We are also available on your favorite streaming channels. And if you subscribe on Building Solid Foundations channel, you can go to Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, and you'll be able to watch all our previous shows. So today I have a special guest for you. Her name is Louisa Shimamoto. So let me tell you about Louisa. Louisa is an award-winning inspirational speaker, business and personal breakthrough coach. And she is also an author with nearly 40 years of transformational experience. She's built 4 successful businesses, spoken at top events across the country, and today she's here to deliver a powerful message. You're not stuck, you're programmed. Louisa will show you how to break through fear, rewire your mindset, and ignite the clarity, confidence, and freedom you need to create the life and business you truly deserve. So let's get ready for a session with that challenge, Inspire and Transform You by Coach Louisa Shimamoto. Welcome, Louisa. How are you?
Great. Thank you so much for this incredible opportunity.
Yes, I'm really excited to have you here on the show because you have so many amazing things that you can share to our audience and listeners. And, you know, being a coach, I think you have 40 years of experience.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
I'm not a spring chicken. I've owned 4 businesses. So I've learned a lot. So I have a lot I can share. I mean, I was in the television and radio advertising business, in the insurance industry for 22 years, and that as a coach too. And not only have my own agency, but a coach. And then I met my dear husband, and we have been married now 30 years, and we've worked together coaching. So
Wow.
Yeah, pretty
Well,
cool.
Can you take us back to the beginning, just so you know the listeners understand really exactly how you became where you are now?
Yeah, absolutely. What I will say is in 1978, I was at the top of my career. I mean, I was just rocking it, and personally and professionally. And I was traveling worldwide and performing, and I had just finished a television show in another country and performing and having a great time and singing and dancing. Came out, and my world changed. I was kidnapped and raped.
Oh my.
And let's just say I took a shower all night long trying to rub off all of the ugly that I felt, the less than, the damaged goods. Who would ever love me? I had a hard time even loving myself. It was a dark, very dark, dark time. And I was ashamed, definitely broken. And I had to perform the next day. So I had to get my act together. And the first thing I did was put on a heavy, heavy mask. And that mask was my way of protecting the pain and faking it, being somebody I wasn't. I was dying inside. I needed help, but I didn't ask for it. But I got on stage and performed, but I kept that mask on.
Okay.
But I soon had PTSD. I eventually had suicidal thoughts, all kinds of things. I made some horrible decisions and put on more masks trying to cover that up. And so it was a process that I've learned I needed to make a decision. Was I going to let that situation own me? Or was I going to step into who I needed to be and own my own life? And I made a decision then that I'm not going to let this person, anything, or anyone steal another breath of life from me. And I warriored up, got down and dirty, and learned to forgive myself first. And that was hard. But it was even harder to forgive my attacker. But once I did, I felt a bit of freedom. And I had to get down to the root causes, pull all the roots out of everything I had done so I could step back into Louisa and find my authentic self again. And that freedom is why I do today and why I help other people. Because how many people would have just stayed stuck? And it drives me crazy when I see that, Marie. And so I have really dedicated my life to helping people get rid of whatever is holding them back personally and
Yeah.
professionally, and step into, rewire the mind, get down and let's do it. It's your life, right?
Yeah.
And you've got to own it and do the hard work so that you can be the authentic you and live out your purpose and feel that freedom and get to where you want to go. There's so
Yeah.
many people I meet that don't know where they're going, why they're going there, and it's sad.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this question. How long did it take for you to recover from the time of the incident to where you are able to really forgive your attacker? How long did that take?
I would say it was a good 5 years
Okay.
where I kept protecting myself, didn't tell anybody, and just kept, I was very, very successful. And so I just faked it. And it was a good 5 years. And I started realizing I'm not living. I've lost Louisa. I need to get Louisa back.
Okay.
And that's when I started making the transformation, doing the hard work. And I would say by another 5 years, so a total of 10, I was back. I was back strong and killing it. So yeah, so it's been a process for me.
Okay. So it took you 5 years. So within that 5 years, did you even get any kind of support or help from anyone also while you're going through that process?
Well, back in the late 70s, if you can remember that far back, and I'm older than you, I know, Marie. So
I don't know about that.
there wasn't a lot of support systems for women. And
Okay.
I was in another country as well. And so that added some problems to it. And so I just decided to pick myself up, brush myself off, and get her done. I mean, that's the way I was raised.
So you have a very strong sense of yourself that you were able to cope up within that 5 year time frame. And
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
so what I'm trying to understand is if someone has gone through that process, knowing that, everybody's different in terms of coping. So with you going through that experience, you would be more a great support for someone that is dealing with it because you know how to get out of it without having any kind of support. But other people might not be able to do that because, again, everybody's different in terms of coping problems. And with you
Absolutely.
going through the process, what are the strategies to be able to get out of it.
Well, and this is true. I was raised in a very special family. My father and mother were both, teachers, and dad was a coach, and he taught mindset before he taught how to dribble. And
Okay.
I don't know if those of you that know John Wooden, I believe the best basketball coach in history, was a good friend of my dad's. And so we were taught as a family to focus on what we can do, not on what we can't. And to focus on, if the good, the bad, the ugly, learn from the ugly, okay, the challenges in life, learn from it. And if you can learn from it and change what you do next time, that now becomes a win. And so dad taught me from a young age, and my brothers too, to focus on the wins in life. So what happens, and I've learned since, is that when you focus on what you want, your unconscious mind understands that's important to you and it will take you there. So when I started focusing on wins, my unconscious mind would help me find more wins. And I
Okay.
learned to flip it, where I would take a negative and turn it into a positive. That was something my parents taught me. And they didn't allow us at home to talk a negative to my brothers. I didn't have a right to bring their day down, right? If they
Mhm.
were having a great day, it's not. So I would talk to my parents behind closed doors. Well, I was raised that way. And so when I went to school as a kid, Marie, I became the flip it queen on the playground. I mean, I would get in the middle of fights before the playground attendant got there and said, "Whoa, wait a minute. Have you considered that maybe he's just having a bad day? Maybe his dog died. Knock it off." I mean, I'm not a shy person, so I've been really coaching my entire life, but it started with my parents and mindset coaching.
Okay. So you had a really good foundation
I did.
before this incident happened, and because of all of that learnings and experience and coaching from your own family, that you're able to
Right.
recover from this incident that you had. And I know it's very difficult to put myself in that position because I'm sure wouldn't know how to relate to what happened to you. um,
Yeah.
I couldn't even picture myself being in that
Yeah.
position. It's
Well,
just
it's
very
it's
difficult.
it's really been interesting for me. I can feel other people. I can feel their pain. I can see it, and I'm not shy. And I'll even go up to a complete stranger in the grocery store and say, "Hey, how you doing?" And they're shocked because they're not used to somebody stopping, you know? And I'll be honest with you, it's not maybe 5 minutes or so. They're telling me their whatever their challenge is, and they're in my arms, and some of them are in tears, you know? And it's I've learned to listen to my pull. I'm getting pulled to step into my purpose. And some people just need a smile and you can change their day, you know?
Yeah.
But I've had the opportunity to not only transform, but save lives and marriages and still help business owners crush it. I've been helping them do that for, like I said, almost 40 years.
Okay.
But the last 2.5 years now, I'm up to 15 lives I've saved from suicide, and the youngest is 11.
Wow. Okay.
And that,
Well, hold on there. We're going to take a commercial break right now, but
okay.
I want everyone out there to stay tuned because you're getting to know Coach Luisa and how powerful she is. So make sure that you don't go away. We will be right back for our sponsors.
Welcome to Fire Up Live 2025, an immersive speaker transformation experience designed to accelerate your visibility, refine your message, and unlock real opportunities in the speaking industry. Join us September 25th through 28th across Southern California, from the center in Escondido to Old Town Theater in Temecula, and ending at the Air and Space Museum in San Diego, for 4 unforgettable days of high-impact training, masterminds, and live experiences. Led by some of the most dynamic voices in the industry, Fire Up Live is where your speaker journey transforms. September 25th, VIP Speaker Training Program. Kick off day 1 with world-renowned actor and transformational speaker Glenn Morshower. He'll train you in performance mastery, from vocal control to emotional connection, so you can own any stage with unforgettable presence. Marie Waite brings expert insights from her book, Who Do You Think You Are?, helping you build an authentic personal brand that opens doors in the speaking world. Learn how to monetize your message in just 30 days, without spending a dime on ads or emails with strategist Manny Lopez. TEDx curator and speaker coach Jim McLaughlin will guide you through message shaping and stage confidence. Network with industry leaders and vendors over a curated VIP lunch. Vendors also gain access to this high-value networking session. September 26th, Building Solid Foundations Mastermind. Day 2 features a dynamic mastermind session led by business strategist Steve Matley. This session helps speakers and entrepreneurs gain clarity, refine their brand positioning, and plan their next strategic move. Enjoy a professional photo shoot aligned with your speaker brand, ideal for elevating your portfolio and marketing. September 27th, TEDx Temecula Experience. On day 3, immerse yourself in the TEDx Temecula experience at the historic Old Town Temecula Theater. Experience the inner workings of TEDx Temecula, an independently organized TED event. Discover how TEDx speakers are selected, coached, and elevated onto the global stage. Watch live, master-level presentations that inspire and transform. September 28th, Fire Up Wings Fashion Show. Wrap up the weekend in style at the Fire Up Wings Fashion Show, held at the iconic San Diego Air and Space Museum. Enjoy live jazz from Valerie Geeson, designs inspired by flight, fashion, and leadership, and James Bond-style runway moments from business leaders and featured designers. Plus, witness the beauty of the Trueness Project's signature butterfly wings come to life on the runway. Reserve your spot now at fireupconnect.com/fire-up-live. Early bird pricing ends July 31st.
In Karate Legacy and the Power Within, we don't just teach karate techniques, we share the inspiring stories of incredible martial artists. Latino Gonzalez, the father of karate, paved the way for martial arts in the Philippines. His legacy lives on through his sons, Rolando and Roberto Gonzalez, who starred in over 100 Philippine karate movies, captivating audiences and bringing karate to the silver screen. Then we have Patricia Gonzalez, a symbol of strength and resilience. After overcoming her own battles, Patricia's journey embodies the spirit of perseverance. Her story encourages us to face our challenges head-on and emerge victorious. Each character in this book has a unique journey, friends and students who have dedicated their lives to mastering the art of karate. Their shared passion not only deepens their bond, but also strengthens their resolve to uplift one another. Through these compelling stories, Karate Legacy and the Power Within reveals the essence of karate: courage, unity, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. Join us in celebrating these extraordinary individuals and discover the strength that lies within you. Grab your copy of Karate Legacy and the Power Within, available now on Amazon.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Marie Antoinette Waite here at the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Talk Show, and we are on 1050 AM and 106.5 FM. And don't forget to subscribe to Building Solid Foundations channel via Roku TV and Amazon Fire TV. So let's go ahead and continue our conversation with Coach Louisa Shimamoto. And she was just sharing us her background. And I'm really excited to learn more about what she's going to share with you in regards to her coaching. So, Coach Louisa, so that is an incredible story, what you've had. And now, how did you came about with coaching, and what is the program for the people that you're helping right now?
Okay. Yeah, let's just say I've always been the top salesperson in anything I've ever done. And television and radio advertising, I just really learned, I loved cold calling. I know people are like, what? And I'm like, no. I would walk in and you get to know the person, you become their friend. My goal was to put a smile on their face. But like I said, I was so good at the rapport that I got numerous recommendations from people, whether my product was right for them or not. I built my businesses that way. So television and, like I said, radio advertising. And then I got in the insurance industry and totally different product and all that, but I had what's called residual income. And I thought, okay, that sounds cool. I'd like to do that. And you're helping people get into the hospital and doctor of their choice. I was like, cool, I'm up. I'm for that. And I kicked booty. I mean, right at the beginning, I was a top in the country. I was a top sale, one of 3 women, mind you, in the entire country with that company. One of 3 women. We're talking in early 90s, 91.
Okay.
And I was kicking booty, and I was number 1. And it wasn't long in the country where people are going, who is this gal? And I was living in Washington State at that time. And turning some heads of other managers in the company, they wanted me to coach. And I had one guy at a conference, he comes up to me and goes, so how are you doing this? You've got this red S on your chest or something. And I know what it is. He goes, it's your skirt. And I go, No, it's not my skirt. That's an insult. And what you need to do is come to my training on Saturday and I'll teach you what rapport is all about. So, I wouldn't accept that because again, you're helping people, you're solving a problem. I
Yeah.
was not that salesy, that type of person. And yeah, like I said, I kicked booty. They started asking me to step into the leadership role while I was not only locally or in the statewide, but nationally a trainer. And so I started that professional coaching side. So I not only had my own clients, but I was coaching. And I started having clients outside of the industry because people saw me and sales is sales, right? A
Yes.
business is a business. And so I started having clients outside of that. Well, anyways, I met my husband, Alan, in the industry. He was also a trader, a leadership coach, and taught in the industry. And oh my gosh, okay, that friendship, I would pick his brain, we'd go to national conventions and I'd be in the elevator or whatever, trying to figure out what he's doing in California, and I need to teach my reps in Washington State. Well, that friendship turned into love, and we've been married 30 years.
That is so beautiful. That's how
And
it works all the time.
yeah, and so it's been awesome to have such a wonderful life partner and business
Mhm.
partner. And
Good for
so,
you. That
yeah.
is so to have someone that you can, be a part of your life and, support each other.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love it. And we've gotten to where in the business, sometimes a client will start with him and then he'll transfer to me to basically have them reclaim their power and pull out the roots that are holding them back or whatever and get them rebooted, where they needed to be. And then he can take them and help them soar to the finish line. And sometimes it'll go the other way around. And then we have a lot of events we do together, from masterminds to sales trainings, leadership trainings, all this kind of stuff. In fact, I even have a women's retreat. I mean, women touch my heart because what I've gone through, and I can see it inside women, a lot of us don't love ourselves.
Okay.
We take care of everybody else and we leave the leftovers for us, and that's not right. We
Okay.
should leave the leftovers. You got to take care of self first. So I have a women's retreat for that reason, where I teach women to step into who they need to be and rewire the brain. Get rid of all of those chains that are pulling you back from old memories, old frustrations, or whatever it was, events that happened in your life. Get rid of that and step into who you need to be for yourself, for your family, and even for your business.
Okay.
And like I said, community too, because otherwise you're not living an authentic life. So
Okay. So let me ask you, so what type of clients are you looking for when it comes to your service?
number
Because it
one,
looks like there's a business part of it, and there's
yeah,
also people that are looking into their own, personal development. So what is the ideal client for you, Louisa?
my ideal client is a female, okay, a business owner, and generally, in their 35 to 55-year-old, okay. And it bothers me when somebody gets stuck, and they're not stuck. They are basically programmed, and we need to rewire them. That's all, okay.
Okay.
And so they don't need to stay in that circle, that gerbil cage. And it's a matter of figure out what's holding them back, get clarity on that, pull those roots out so they can go forward, and give them peace of mind, that freedom. And so I not only help people one-on-one in coaching, but that business coaching, yeah, that's where it all started, way back. But I have a lot of people that come for me for business, personal coaching, breakthrough.
Okay.
And so it just depends on where they're at, and I can do a combination, because what I will say, if you're stuck in business, because I've had business tragedy too, okay?
Okay.
And I'm sure other people have. But again, are you going to let that own you? Or are you going to let it bounce off of you and focus on what you can do and get going, get back out there, do it.
Okay.
You can do it if you choose to, right? And so So if you're stuck in business, you're stuck in personal. If you're stuck in personal, guess what? It affects your business. So the two come together. So I really designed something to fit someone's needs. What do they need? And sometimes they don't know, but we can discover that together.
Okay, that's interesting. So, what would you say the best part of your service for people to know?
The best part of my service. Well, like I said, what I do, it's called the Freedom Framework, where I
Okay.
help people. Yeah, and it's something where I help people reveal the root, rewire the mind, teach them to believe in themselves again. And sometimes it's a matter of forgiving self, forgiving others,
Okay.
loving self, all of that. But also, the Freedom Framework really gives them a roadmap to success.
Okay.
So there's really three big steps, but they're full of all kinds of stuff, depending on
So
what
it's,
they
it's
need.
very structured to where you have the
Yeah.
three stages, your service in
Right.
taking them to that journey. Okay.
Yeah. Because I've had business owners that are very successful. However, they don't like going there anymore. They're bored.
They're
Okay.
stagnant.
They're stagnant, or they're just, I don't know what to do next. Or, oh, I'm full of anxiety. I don't know what to do. They've got their minds going like this, it's scrambling. And so people come with different reasons. And like I said, I'm able to see from the outside, having had 4 different businesses that I've built, very successful businesses, where I can see and pull different things from not just all of my certifications and training and everything else, but personal experience. And that's really what separates me in the marketplace.
Mm, I like that. And I've had some personal, time with you also in regards to just handling some business situation. And I totally understand your strength and your skills, Luisa. I mean, you are an amazing listener and you really go down deep to the root of the cause of the problem. And I got to experience that myself. That's why I'm really excited for people to listen to you today because, I know what they're getting from you. I always like to provide amazing people and resources to the people that are listening into the show because, of course, we're talking about being a fabulous lifestyle, right? And in order for them to achieve the fabulous lifestyle is you have to have the right people like you around them who can guide them and give them some insights.
That's right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, we were all given life,
Mhm.
air breathed into our lungs for a reason and a purpose. And it's sad if you don't step into it. Wouldn't you agree, Marie? I mean, we all
Yeah.
have different tools. I mean, there's things that you do that I don't have a clue how to do that, but I would prefer to hire somebody to help me get there quicker, faster, right?
Yes. And
Instead of doing
so yeah, I mean, I am, I'm so excited. But we're gonna take a commercial break. But on our next segment, Luisa, I would like to hear a story of one of your clients and how you have helped them into their journey. Okay. So everyone out there, don't go away. We are here at the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio with Coach Luisa Shimamoto, and we will be right back.
I'm Glenn Morshower. My face may look familiar to you from lots and lots of TV and film over the last 50 years. We're doing speaker training together and we're excited about helping you. We've got a lot of fundamentals that we will cover, including the art of playfulness, knowing who you are, remembering tonality, posture, all of these things that are life-changing. They are significant not only in your professional world, but in your personal life as well. We look forward to working with you in the near future.
Unlock the power within you with Who Do You Think You Are? Delve into the art of personal branding and craft a legacy that leaves an indelible mark on the world. Learn from real-life experiences and actionable insights, empowering you to become a leader in your field. Get your copy now and embark on the journey to unleash your true potential. Now available on Amazon.
Looking to attract your target market without soliciting or doing the cold calling? Call Marie Waite and book your consultation. Branding gives you the power to create a unique and classy perception of your business for your target audience. A marketing plan without the right branding will always cost more, take longer, and tend to deliver subpar results compared to a well-branded business. Marie Waite is a branding strategist who formulates effective marketing and media programs to promote your business in building your name, brand, and legacy. Marie has over 10 years of experience and a proven record of creating strong brand content for business owners, entrepreneurs, and companies using her creative ideas, recommendations, and innovative programs. Book now at mariewaite.com or call her at 951 378 5316. 951 378 5316.
Welcome back, everyone, here at the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Talk Show. And we were talking to Coach Louisa Shimamoto. And so, Louisa, tell us a story that you can share to our listeners in regards to the success helping someone through their business or life.
Yeah, I want to share with you a gentleman that I believe he was in his 40s. He was married, 2 children, and he worked in the mortgage industry. And he wasn't sure at first how it could help him, but he just kind of felt empty, if you will, empty inside. And so we met up and I started learning more and more about his life. And when he shared with me that I started to notice that he wouldn't always look me straight in the eye. When he'd talk, he'd kind of look down. So he didn't have that confidence in his word and what he was saying, his belief in self. So his body language, but he had some trouble in his marriage and he had some trouble with the relationship with his children. And so we just started talking about some of these things. And then I decided, I think it's really important that we go back in your story and let's get to the root cause of what's truly holding you back so you don't have this blackness in your story anymore. And so we go back in a very safe way to where I helped him with this went way back when he was a child. And we were able to get through, he called it like he could see hills and valleys in his life and that type of thing, which when you hear the story, you'll understand.
Okay.
And anyways, he was a child and on his bike and he crashed. And I don't know if it was a tree or something, but he crashed and burned big time. Ended up in the hospital and they weren't sure he would live through the surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And so his family, his parents, brother was there. And even the doctor, they had that look on their face that really bothered him. And he was full of fear. And who wouldn't be, right?
Yeah.
And he had brain surgery. They had to take out half of his brain. You would never know looking at his head. You can't tell from the outside at all. But when he woke up and he saw their faces and their surprise, it still was concerning to him because he didn't know, there was so much unknown. He was one of very few people in the world that have ever had such a thing. And no one to the doctors that he could think of that had half of their brain removed and could even wake up and carry a conversation. Well, he ended up in special ed. He felt less than. Kids made fun of him, even his brother. And he started getting very angry. So he experienced not only anger and sadness, major fear, guilt that he lived through it and he was causing his family so much trouble,
Mm-hmm.
fear in their eyes and having to take care of him and all the healing process. And then also shame, a lot of shame.
Mm-hmm.
And so he went through school that way and he kind of felt guilty that they even let him graduate from high school. But anyway, I helped him realize that I want you to really think about what can you learn from that event that will help you break the chains that are holding you back right now. What can we learn? He goes, well, I lived through it. And I go, yeah, you did. And how old are you? And that happened when you were a kid. You've crushed it here. Can you realize where you're at? And he goes, yeah. And I said, so what did you do after high school? I went to college. You went to college. Okay. So you not only graduated high school, but you went to college with half a brain and you graduated college. Okay. What are you doing now? Well, I'm in the mortgage industry. Okay. All right. So you're married. You've got all this going on. Can you forgive yourself? Do you love yourself? So we had to go back, forgive self,
Mm-hmm.
forgive his dad, his mom, his brother, the friends at school, because there were some that really picked on him. We had to go through all of this. We went through all the roots, broke those chains.
Wow.
And to see his expression on his face, to see him just shine and own it and realize that he's alive and doing well and he can do. And he just stepped into this. I love myself. I'm in charge of my emotions now. And I will, you watch me type of attitude. I watched him transform in
Love
front
it.
of my eyes, and it was so wonderfully emotional for me and for him. And we're dear, dear friends. He still keeps in touch with me. And to give you an idea of what he's doing now, he is now a senior in the representative, okay, for this mortgage company, has won numerous awards. He's got
Wow.
a podcast, okay, and he's widely respected in the community. Has a number of power partners that want to refer him out, and his business is blowing up. But it was a matter of what? Rewiring the brain, get to the root cause, pull it out, rewire the brain, forgive, learn from it and all that, and step into who you need to be and own it. Oh my gosh. That is just like one of my favorite stories.
Wow, I love it. You unleash his power.
Oh my gosh. And not only professionally, but his marriage, whoo, everything is awesome. They're dating again. He has dates with his kids. I mean, it's been amazing. He also intentionally met with both of his parents
Mhm.
individually and told him that he wanted to forgive them and his whole journey, as well as his brother. So there was a lot of healing. It was awesome.
Wow, I am so happy to hear that. And I'm sure you have more stories to tell, but we don't have a lot of time here in the radio show. But hey, they are going to have to get a hold of you,
That's right.
Lisa,
That's
so
right.
they can hear more stories from you. But I am sure that you got a lot of things that you help people with, not only in personal life, but also in business. And
Absolutely.
so where do you envision your business right now? Because I know you have just gone through some pretty hard time with your home itself. I don't know if you want to share that, but
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. We were so excited to move from Washington State to California to be close to our daughter and the man in her life.
yeah.
And yeah, so we moved, bought a new home here in California, and our furniture arrived in December. We moved in and everything, had the holidays. February 6th, three explosions knocking on my door, just pounding on my door. And they're, get out, get out. So I get out, I grab my dog. I mean, that's the first thing I thought of. I go out, huge fire. I mean, cars were exploding. The garages were on. It was just crazy. And we're still not back in our house. So it's been 4 months now, and we're not
Wow.
burnt. Okay. The house next to us burnt, the wall that was adjoining our condo. But yeah, I've learned a lot from this, and it's not been fun. But again, you got to focus on what you can do. Right?
Yeah. And you are, because you still haven't gone into your own house, that you have been doing a lot of, transition, right? From
Yeah,
one
I
place
call
to
it
another.
The Airbnb shuffle. We're at number 7 now. The
Oh,
Airbnb shuffle. Yeah, and still our house has not been dealt with. We have 2 pages of toxins in our house, cancer causing stuff. So we can't go in our house.
yeah.
Okay. And so, yeah, it's kind of frustrating to have a new house. And I call it the smokehouse because I can't go in there.
Yeah.
And then when I do, I have to wear, oh, it's a new fashion statement. It has this huge thing here and these two big filter deals on the side. Gross.
Yeah. Well, but you
But
are in the North County, San Diego, right? That's where
I
you're
am.
at right now. And so when people like to work with you, do they have to be in person, or how does it work?
No, I have clients all over the world.
Okay.
With COVID, I had to switch, obviously all of us did, from in-person stuff, and my whole business was in-person coaching at that point,
Okay.
events and so forth. And so I switched everything pretty much to online. Now, when I have a suicidal client, I would love to have them in front of me. Okay.
Okay.
But Zoom is pretty awesome. I have clients outside of the country that I've helped with suicidal thoughts. Okay. And
Okay.
yes, I've helped many businesses all over the world. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear that, because I'm sure if someone is listening to us and they want to work with you and they're living, like 1,000 miles away from us, I
Yeah,
want to make sure that they have access to you.
absolutely.
I
Thank you.
think that would be awesome. But we're gonna have another segment with you, and I know that there's a surprise for all the listeners, so they better be, listening to our show, because I'm sure they're gonna be excited to hear what you have for them. So don't go away, everyone. This is the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Talk Show, and I'm your host, Marie Antoinette Waite, and we will be right back.
Welcome to Fire Up Live 2025, an immersive speaker transformation experience designed to accelerate your visibility, refine your message, and unlock real opportunities in the speaking industry. Join us September 25th through 28th across Southern California, from the center in Escondido to Old Town Theater in Temecula, and ending at the Air and Space Museum in San Diego, for 4 unforgettable days of high-impact training, masterminds, and live experiences. Led by some of the most dynamic voices in the industry, Fire Up Live is where your speaker journey transforms. September 25th, VIP Speaker Training Program. Kickoff Day 1 with world-renowned actor and transformational speaker Glenn Morshower. He'll train you in performance mastery, from vocal control to emotional connection, so you can own any stage with unforgettable presence. Marie Waite brings expert insights from her book, Who Do You Think You Are?, helping you build an authentic personal brand that opens doors in the speaking world. Learn how to monetize your message in just 30 days, without spending a dime on ads or emails, with strategist Manny Lopez. TEDx curator and speaker coach Jim McLaughlin will guide you through message shaping and stage confidence. Network with industry leaders and vendors over a curated VIP lunch. Vendors also gain access to this high-value networking session. September 26th, Building Solid Foundations Mastermind. Day 2 features a dynamic mastermind session led by business strategist Steve Matley. This session helps speakers and entrepreneurs gain clarity, refine their brand positioning, and plan their next strategic move. Enjoy a professional photo shoot aligned with your speaker brand, ideal for elevating your portfolio and marketing. September 27th, TEDx Temecula Experience. On Day 3, immerse yourself in the TEDx Temecula experience at the historic Old Town Temecula Theater. Experience the inner workings of TEDx Temecula, an independently organized TED event. Discover how TEDx speakers are selected, coached, and elevated onto the global stage. Watch live, master-level presentations that inspire and transform. September 28th, Fire Up Wings Fashion Show. Wrap up the weekend in style at the Fire Up Wings Fashion Show, held at the iconic San Diego Air and Space Museum. Enjoy live jazz from Valerie Geeson, designs inspired by flight, fashion, and leadership, and James Bond-style runway moments from business leaders and featured designers. Plus, witness the beauty of the Trueness Project's signature butterfly wings come to life on the runway. Reserve your spot now at fireupconnect.com/fire-up-live. Early bird pricing ends July 31st.
In Karate Legacy and the Power Within, we don't just teach karate techniques, we share the inspiring stories of incredible martial artists. Latino Gonzalez, the father of karate, paved the way for martial arts in the Philippines. His legacy lives on through his sons, Rolando and Roberto Gonzalez, who starred in over 100 Philippine karate movies, captivating audiences and bringing karate to the silver screen. Then we have Patricia Gonzalez, a symbol of strength and resilience. After overcoming her own battles, Patricia's journey embodies the spirit of perseverance. Her story encourages us to face our challenges head-on and emerge victorious. Each character in this book has a unique journey, friends and students who have dedicated their lives to mastering the art of karate. Their shared passion not only deepens their bond, but also strengthens their resolve to uplift one another. Through these compelling stories, Karate Legacy and the Power Within reveals the essence of karate: courage, unity, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. Join us in celebrating these extraordinary individuals and discover the strength that lies within you. Grab your copy of Karate Legacy and the Power Within, available now on Amazon.
We are back here at the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Talk Show, and this is our last segment with Doctor. You sounded like a doctor already because you're healing people, but you're Coach Louisa Shimamoto. All right, Coach Louisa, tell us what you have for our listeners. And, this is the opportunity that you can have to share whatever you want to let them know about, your business or what you can do for them. Okay. Take it away.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, again, I'm not only a breakthrough coach, but I also work a lot with mindset. Okay. And help people with that too, to flip the script per se. But I'm also a speaker and would be happy to get on more stages. Okay. And I'm also an author, and my book is called The Win Book. Okay. And it's to honor my father and all the positive that he taught me. And I wrote in my Win Book daily, still do daily. And so that's available on Amazon. So that's for you. And I wanted to give you that tip, The Win Book. And also, okay, get your pen out. Okay. Because I want you to reach out to me. I'll give it to you twice here. So it's Accelerate Growth Coaching at gmail.com. That's my email, Accelerate Growth Coaching at gmail.com. My phone number, and it's a Washington State number. Okay. No spam, please. Okay. But 360-915-2205. 360-915-2205. I would love to hear from you. So much so that I'm going to offer you a Stuck to Soaring session with me. I don't do this very often, but this is completely free, complimentary, a Stuck to Soaring session with me. So it's an hour session. I will send you something to fill out because I want to know what your goals are, where you're going, why you're not there yet, what do you want and why don't you have it? But I have a worksheet to send to you so we can use that hour efficiently to seriously help you break through whatever's holding you back and get some clarity. How about freedom, peace of mind, and game plan? A game plan to really, really step into your business success. Okay, take your business to a whole nother level. So again, 360-915-2205, Accelerate Growth Coaching, a Stuck to Soaring, seize opportunity, achieve results, soaring session with me. Are you ready to take on your life, to take it over, step into it, own it? Okay, reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much, Marie.
Thank you for being here. I'm sure everybody's excited. I am excited. So everyone, don't forget, again, connect with Coach Louisa Shimamoto if you are in need of her services. And If you want to improve your life, your personal life, everything that you can think of to get you to where you want to be. And also I want to make sure that you know that we are having our two events this year. We have August 9th, which is called San Diego Real Estate Investing and Business Expo. And this is going to be at the center in Escondido. If you are interested in attending that, it is free. You're going to learn a lot from the real estate experts. If you are an investor and you're just getting into it, it's best to learn from the experts first so you can make the right decision and you don't lose your money. You want to make sure that you have all the information before you do anything. So that's a good event for you to attend. That is on August 9th. It's a full day event from 9 o'clock to 5 p.m. And again, you can call me at 619-453-4664 for more information. And another event that we're doing, which is a 4-day event on September 25th through the 28th, we're going to have Glenmore Shower, who is going to train all the speakers. And you get to enjoy, watching the speakers transformed by Glenn. And we're going to have a mastermind, a photo shoot. We're also doing a fashion show on the 28th. It's called the Fire Up Wings Fashion Show. And if you are interested in watching the designers with all of their amazing clothing line, and I'm going to also have the James Bond guys, which, these are all business people. They're going to wear their best James Bond outfit, and they're going to do the runway too. How about that? And lastly, great. The TEDx Temecula is happening on September 27th, and we are also going to be there. But Glenmore Shower is going to be one of the speakers at that event. So make sure that you check out Fire Up Live. That's FIREUPLIVE.com. And if you have more questions, feel free to call me. I am 619-453-4664. And one more thing before we end the show is that I do have a website. It's also mariewait.com, MARIEWAITE.com, and check out everything that I offer when it comes to building your name, your brand, and legacy. I am here to help you out with that too. Anyway, thank you so much, Coach Louisa, for being a part of this show. It's such an incredible honor to have you here. And I hope you enjoyed our interview today.
Absolutely. Thank you so, so much. And if there's anything I could say here at the very end, it would be something my father taught me.
Go ahead.
If it is to be, it's up to me. If it is to be, it's up to me. Inhale those words. This is your life. Own it.
All right. Awesome. All right. Thank you so much. Okay. So we will see you next week. Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Talk Show. I'm your host, Marie Antoinette Way, and we're saying goodbye to you. And bye now. Have a fabulous lifestyle.
Welcome to the Fabulous Lifestyle Radio Show, where we talk about food, fashion, finance, and foundations of life. We are live on KCAA Radio Broadcasting Network. KCAA is affiliated with CNBC, NBC News, and NBC Sports. We are sponsored by Sheltered Studios, Fire Connect, and Building Solid Foundation.
police departments that serve and protect our communities to those serving in our military. Let's remember those who lost their lives and show our appreciation. This message is courtesy of Cloud9 Roofing Construction, your complete roofing contractors with a reputation for quality work at prices you can afford. For estimates, call 951-385-8011. That's 951-385-8011 for Cloud9 Roofing Construction in Moreno Valley.
PDR Solutions around the air, proudly saluting the brave men and women of our U.S. military. Their tireless efforts should never go unnoticed. This proud salute is brought to you courtesy of PDR Solutions. For the very best in all of your demolition services, damage restoration, and environmental abatement, visit mypdrs.com or call today and ask about their military discounts at 714-264-1676, 714-264-1676. That's PDR Solutions, proudly saluting our troops and veterans.
One of the best ways to build a healthier local economy is by shopping locally. Teamster Advantage is a shop local program started by Teamster Local 1932 that has brought together hundreds of locally owned businesses to provide discounts for residents who make shopping locally their priority. Everything from restaurants like Corky's to fun times at SB Raceway and much, much more. If you're not currently a Teamster and you want access to these local business discounts, contact Jennifer at 909-889-8377, extension 224. Give her a call. That number again is